Day 29 of the 75-day challenge, and today has definitely been one of those days that where you just feel defeated and not productive, and a bunch of things go wrong and you just don't feel 100% for really no good reason. So it's been a rough day to kind of get through everything, but here we are, and I will share with you guys my reading of The Wealthy Gardener. So this lesson is lesson 4.15 for anyone that is reading along. Okay, and this lesson is called Courage. Ambition without caution is a bus without brakes, considered the wealthy gardener, but ambition without courage is a bus without keys. Wealth favors the individual with courage and caution in the right measure. And so basically, what he's doing right now in this chapter, without having to read the whole story, is that he's talking. His next door neighbors are a husband and wife who are also retired, and he's talking to one of his best friends who's a husband. He's talking to his wife. And in the last chapter, the best friend was confiding in the wealthy gardener and talking to him about how in his retirement, he's really feeling the need to find something that fulfills him and gives him purpose. And for him, it was to start a daycare, I believe, or some kind of child care business. And so the wife was telling the wealthy gardener that every time he goes down this path, he gets so close to taking action and like, yes, I'm going to do it. It's finally the right time. I'm going to do it. And she said, for whatever reason, there always ends up being some kind of a block or some type of excuse to why he won't do it. And of course, that excuse, as we all know, is always the fear of failure. So that's the wife confiding in the wealthy gardener, and the wealthy gardener nodded sadly. Isn't it common, he said, we fear the consequences of action but ignore the cost of inaction. Courage, the ability to do something that frightens but which is likely to be of benefit. Wealth favors the person who uses a dose of courage and a dash of caution in the right proportions. Smart courage is the ability to walk into uncertainty when the upside is worth the risk. It is the bravery to act in times when fear is reasonable and pain is likely to be inflicted by our choices. It is action when there is something to lose, when known hardships are inescapable, but the desirable outcome offsets the dangers. Accumulating wealth requires defining moments of weighing the consequences of action against the dangers of inaction. What would we do if we knew our future was in jeopardy? Could we face the fear of change and unfamiliarity to avoid the despair of regrets? We all know the story of Jeff Bezos, who walked away from a lucrative finance job for his dream of Amazon. He said, I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not ever having tried. It's an iconic story, but with all due respect, this extraordinary man had a fallback plan with a safety net. It is hard to fail, said Theodore Roosevelt, but it is worse to never have tried to succeed. In real estate, it's been said that we don't go broke from a great deal that gets away. We only go broke from the bad deals that we do get. This reminds me to be cautious and bold. The life lesson, courage. I learned that the secret of freedom was courage, but financial freedom required both courage and caution. And I would have to say that throughout my life, this is something that I've seen a lot. And even now on a daily basis, even with Turo, I come across so many people every single day who talk about like, oh yeah, I'm going to start Turo. I'm going to start Turo. Like, I'm just getting everything together. I'm going to start it. And I always tell these people, oh, keep me posted. Let me know how it goes. Let me know when you're going to start. And they'll kind of give me a date, or like they'll say, yeah, I'm going to start in April or May or whatever it might be, but I never end up hearing back from them. And so yeah, you definitely need courage and you want to have that caution as well. But those are the things that it really takes to kind of take a chance and go do something. And it should scare you. I think one time I read a quote that said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So there is always that fear of failure and that fear factor when it goes into, starting something new. But over time, you become resilient and you become even more courageous, and you become confident in yourself and your abilities, and you figure out what you can and cannot handle, and it just continues to propel you forward. So for me personally, in this chapter, this was a great reminder about the caution part, because sometimes you can kind of get really comfortable with having courage and you can be very bold in going after things, and caution can become an afterthought. So this was a good reminder for me to always maintain that caution in the back of your mind as well. And on that note, we are going to end today. Today needs to end so that I can have a fresh day tomorrow. So thanks again, guys, for watching. The description of the challenge and a link to the book is in the description down below, and I can't get my words right anymore, so I need to go to bed. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.